I think we all know who Elon Musk is and how he became a billionaire. There is a video on the channel. But do you know the story of his most important project? Let's explain it with MCH Real Style. While the calendars showed the year 2002, Elon Musk had taken one of the most important steps of his life. Elon Musk, who invested his income from selling X.com, the ancestor of PayPal, to eBay, to SpaceX, perhaps the most important project of his life, founded SpaceX on May 6, 2002. What prompted Elon Musk to establish a space company that produces his own rockets is to the point where he wants to deliver space transportation in space travel. That is, he realized that there was no better option than this to make it cheaper and easier. In those years, Musk's goals and dreams were met with unease by wide circles, and everyone looked at this project as a big risk taken. So does Musk from time to time. Musk said that he did not want even the people closest to him to invest in his company at that time, and that if money was to be lost in this risky project, he wanted it to be his own money. Elon Musk's biggest dream when founding SpaceX, as many of us are familiar with, was to take humanity to Mars and colonize it. Today, we can still call this dream the most important driving force of Elon Musk and his company SpaceX. In fact, SpaceX defines this goal as making humanity a multiplanetary species. But of course, this is not SpaceX's only goal. SpaceX has also had goals that have shaped over the years, such as making space transportation cheaper, thus taking action more often, producing more powerful rockets to carry more payloads to space at a lower cost, and spreading the high-speed cheap internet to the whole world with Starlink. While establishing SpaceX, Elon Musk's biggest dream was to take humanity to Mars and colonize Mars, as many of us are familiar with. Today, we can still call this dream the most important driving force of Elon Musk and his company SpaceX. In fact, SpaceX defines this goal as making humanity a multiplanetary species. But of course, this is not SpaceX's only goal. SpaceX started working to produce its own rockets right after its establishment, and after the last 4 years, the first launch was carried out in March 2006. On this March 26 launch, the Falcon 1 failed due to a fire following a rupture in the fuel hoses seconds after leaving the launch platform. After a year, the second launch was carried out on March 25, 2007, but this launch failed once again due to engine shutdown caused by the inability to balance the rocket's rotation around itself. After the failure of the third launch, one of the important steps in space transportation was taken on September 28, 2008, and SpaceX made its first successful launch. Falcon 1 is the first privately owned liquid-fueled rocket to reach orbit in this launch after 6 years. SpaceX also started work to design and manufacture a family of rockets and launch vehicles that they could land and use again and again. Falcon 9 became SpaceX's rocket that, after much trial and error, was finally able to land successfully on an official mission. SpaceX, on the other hand, sent the Dragon loaded with 3,100 kilos of material into orbit in a mission where Falcon 9 was used for the 23rd time, and landed on the Of Course I Still Love You platform, which was waiting off the Cape Canaveral base, Florida. Thus, SpaceX started a new era in space transportation. Falcon Heavy is undoubtedly a success story at least as important as Falcon 9. Falcon Heavy is much more powerful, with an architecture that combines 3 Falcon 9 rockets in total. In this way, it is possible to carry much heavier loads at once. Falcon Heavy is the most powerful rocket in use on Earth, and the main goal of this powerful rocket is to transport humans to Mars. Falcon Heavy is currently the closest rocket to carrying us to Mars and colonizing there, but of course there are still many hurdles to overcome and improvements to be made. SpaceX managed to become the first private company to send people into space with the Crew Dragon mission it carried out in May. When we evaluate this success in terms of its mission to transport people to space, we can say that SpaceX, which has carried satellites and payloads until now, is getting closer to its goal with each passing day. One of SpaceX's most popular projects recently is the Starlink project. With Starlink, SpaceX launches satellites into orbit and wants to achieve its goal of fast and cheap internet all over the world with these satellites. One of the projects seen as key to Musk's Mars mission is Starship. With this hugely designed spacecraft, Elon Musk aims to initiate space tourism and, more importantly, colonization on Mars. Starship, which is still under development, will make its first space tourism journey in 2023 and take the first tourists to the moon, if all studies are completed and the tests are successfully passed. The question of how SpaceX makes money has a very simple answer: by transport. In addition to the income it earns by carrying SpaceX satellites and cargoes that will go to space, it also receives investments by carrying out projects with space agencies such as NASA. SpaceX's journey so far shows that it has achieved its goals one by one. Despite all the setbacks and unsuccessful missions experienced during this long journey and challenging missions, SpaceX, with its team that is constantly working and developing, shows that even the most extreme dreams can be realized by gradually forming their own conditions over time.